Welcome back to FlyEaglesFly News, where every play, every touchdown, and every moment of Eagles football comes alive with energy and insight. This week, Philadelphia finds itself in a position that many teams can only dream about, sitting atop the NFC with momentum on their side and the kind of confidence that comes from making every game count. The bye week couldn't have come at a better time. While other teams stumbled, Philadelphia capitalized on every opportunity that presented itself, and suddenly, the landscape of the conference feels like it belongs to them. The Packers faltered at home, the Lions struggled against Minnesota, and their rivals in the NFC East couldn't maintain consistency, leaving the Eagles in the ideal spot to dictate their own destiny. It's not just about the record anymore. It's about setting a tone, sending a message, and showing the league that this team is peaking at exactly the right time. The numbers tell part of the story: 6 wins, 2 losses, and a near-perfect record within the NFC. The rest of the league knows that facing Philadelphia now is not the same as facing them at the start of the season. This is a team that has rhythm, cohesion, and a clear identity. Heading into Lambeau Field, the stakes rise immediately. There's no mistaking the atmosphere, especially in November. The frozen tundra isn't just a nickname. It's a challenge that demands toughness, discipline, and adaptability. Expect temperatures to dip into the mid-20s with wind gusts that can easily throw off a quarterback's timing. The ball gets slick, the grip becomes a test, and every play feels like it carries extra weight. For the Eagles, it's a chance to prove that their momentum isn't just homegrown. It can travel, adapt, and conquer one of the league's most legendary environments. For Green Bay, the home crowd, the history, and the cold serve as both motivation and pressure. They've had flashes of brilliance this season, moments where their offense looked unstoppable, but consistency has been a challenge. They can move the ball, rack up yards, and put points on the board, but finishing drives has been the Achilles heel. Against Carolina, they had opportunities, but simply couldn't convert them when it mattered most. Philadelphia knows this and sees the opportunity clearly. If they execute properly, the red zone becomes their domain, and that could decide this game. On offense, the Eagles are clicking at the perfect time. Jalen Hurts has re-established the balance that makes this team so dangerous. Passing efficiently while maintaining a dominant ground game creates a scenario that few defenses can handle. Against Minnesota, the air attack was precise, dissecting one of the best defensive units in the league, and the performance against the Giants showed that this team can dominate in every phase. Over 400 yards of total offense, including an extraordinary rushing performance, is the kind of statement that doesn't just impact the scoreboard. It boosts the confidence of the offensive line, opens up the passing game, and keeps the opposing defense guessing. Hurts doesn't have to put up gaudy numbers to influence a game. His command of the field, decision-making, and ability to protect the football have turned the Eagles into one of the most disciplined, efficient units in the league. Turnovers have been practically non-existent in their recent games, which allows this offense to sustain drives, maintain rhythm, and keep the pressure on opponents. Statistically, Hurts is in the conversation for MVP, but more than numbers, his composure, mobility, and leadership are what elevate this team. Completing a high percentage of passes, mixing in the run, and reading defenses on the fly allows Philadelphia to remain unpredictable, a nightmare for even the most seasoned defensive coordinators. Defensively, the Eagles have been steady, even if not flashy. Middle-of-the-pack statistics mask the true strength of this unit, which is performing when it counts most, particularly in the red zone. They bend at times, but rarely break, and that resilience has been a critical factor in close games. Coming off a bye with fresh legs, new personnel, and strategic adjustments, the defense has the tools to make key stops against an inconsistent Green Bay offense. New additions like Michael Carter bring flexibility, able to cover multiple roles in the secondary, while Jalen Phillips injects explosive pass-rushing ability that can change the dynamics of a game in a single play. Veteran presence from G.Y. Alexander provides insight and leadership, particularly against a Packers team that thrives on quick reads and dynamic playmakers. On the line, the Eagles' defensive front has been a nightmare for quarterbacks all season. The cold conditions amplify that threat, making the quarterback's job exponentially harder as the field becomes slick and the ball turns into a challenge to handle. Pressuring Jordan Love and collapsing the pocket early could dictate the rhythm of the game, and tilt momentum decisively toward Philadelphia. Maintaining discipline against the run and keeping contained on the edges will be essential, as Green Bay quietly ranks among the more effective rushing teams, averaging solid yards per carry. If the Eagles can replicate their best performances, their defensive front can dominate, forcing mistakes and creating turnovers that swing the game. Running the football will once again be central to Philadelphia's strategy. Saquon Barkley, rejuvenated and physical, has shown the ability to set the tone with decisive, explosive carries. Tank Bigsby complements him perfectly, providing both power and speed to grind out tough yards in freezing conditions. Controlling the line of scrimmage and maintaining possession in a cold, hostile environment is not just tactical, it's survival. These two backs give the Eagles the ability to sustain long drives, chew the clock, and dictate tempo. When the air gets thin and the wind gusts over the field, establishing the run game isn't optional. It's essential to maintain control and keep the opposing offense off balance. The combination of running efficiency, quarterback poise, and balanced play calling has turned the Eagles into one of the toughest teams to face down the stretch. Every snap, every read, and every adjustment carries weight because this isn't just about individual plays. It's about imposing a style, maintaining identity, and proving that this team thrives under pressure. The matchup at Lambeau Field is layered with intrigue. The Eagles bring a cohesive, disciplined approach against a Packers team that has struggled to find consistent form. Green Bay can score, move the ball, and threaten any defense, but the key will be execution under pressure. Without a key weapon like Tucker Kraft, their offensive balance shifts, forcing young receivers and Aaron Jones to shoulder more responsibility. Philadelphia's front will test them relentlessly, making every yard earned, every throw contested, and every decision critical. For the Eagles, exploiting mismatches, disguising pressures, and using clever rotations in the linebacker and secondary units will be decisive. Nakobe Dean, Jayad Campbell, and Zach Bond have all shown the ability to create disruption, and integrating the new defensive pieces quickly will be crucial in dictating how the Packers operate in this high-stakes environment. The combination of aggression, preparation, and adaptability will set the tone for whether Philadelphia can control the game from the first whistle. Offensively, the plan is straightforward but demanding. Maintain balance, protect the football, and sustain the pace that has defined their success. The offensive line must perform at peak level to open lanes for the running game and provide Hurts with enough time to read and react. The Eagles have rediscovered their physical identity, a style that punishes opponents and forces errors over time. Play action, tempo variation, and smart adjustments will be necessary to counter Green Bay's aggressive front seven. In a game defined by elements, execution, and resilience, the Eagles know that maintaining rhythm, supporting the running game, and limiting mistakes are essential for emerging victorious. Leadership on the field, calm under pressure, and the ability to capitalize on every opportunity will define the outcome more than raw statistics ever could. As the Eagles prepare to step onto the frozen Lambeau turf, the atmosphere is electric, carrying the weight of expectation and the promise of a true test. Every detail matters in this type of environment. The snap, the footwork, the timing of each route, the discipline in coverage. The cold isn't just a challenge for the body. It's a mental test, and Philadelphia has shown time and again that they can rise to those occasions. The defense, anchored by a relentless front line and a secondary that blends youth and experience, is ready to turn pressure into points. Every blitz, disguised coverage, and strategic rotation is designed to confuse Jordan Love and make him uncomfortable in the pocket. The Eagles know his tendencies, his strengths, and his vulnerabilities, and they will exploit them with precision. When Love is forced to hurry, when reads are disrupted, and when he has to move outside the structure of the play, mistakes become inevitable. That's the scenario Philadelphia is banking on, turning Green Bay's offensive weapons into challenges rather than advantages. The linebackers play a pivotal role in this chess match. Nakobe Dean's improvement week after week has added an instinctive layer to the defense, while Jayad Campbell and Zach Bond offer speed, versatility, and the ability to cover both run and pass threats. Their coordination, communication, and anticipation will be critical in a game where the margin for error is razor thin. Green Bay will try to manipulate formations, motion players, and create mismatches, but the Eagles' preparation and adaptability should neutralize much of that. The defensive line must hold the point of attack, maintain gap discipline, and keep the quarterback under consistent duress. If the rush collapses the pocket, forces hasty decisions, and pressures the ball carrier, Philadelphia's edge becomes overwhelming, and the rhythm of Green Bay's offense is disrupted. Discipline is key, but so is aggression, the ability to strike at the right moment, to create chaos in a calculated way that maximizes the chance of turnovers. On the offensive side, the Eagles are equally prepared to impose their identity. Jalen Hurts will need to stay poised, read the defense accurately, and make decisive choices under pressure. The cold may limit passing options, but Hurts thrives in adversity, using both his arm and his legs to extend plays and create opportunities. The running game, led by Saquon Barkley and complemented by Tank Bigsby, will be central to controlling the clock and wearing down the defensive front. Long, sustained drives are not just a tactic. They are a statement of dominance, a demonstration of the team's ability to control tempo and impose their will over the course of 60 minutes. Every carry, every block, and every adjustment in real time matters, particularly when conditions make the field a testing ground for both strategy and physicality. Red zone efficiency remains a cornerstone of Philadelphia's approach. Scoring consistently inside the 20-yard line is what separates contenders from pretenders, and the Eagles excel in this area. They combine smart play calling, execution under pressure, and versatility that forces defenses to cover every inch of the field. When Hurts is operating at his best, when the offensive line is opening lanes, and when the running backs are decisive, the team turns red zone opportunities into touchdowns rather than field goals. That is the kind of margin that wins playoff-style games and can make the difference in a hostile venue like Lambeau Field. Green Bay, for their part, has been inconsistent but dangerous. Jordan Love has the ability to stretch defenses and create big plays when he's comfortable, but history shows that Philadelphia's defense challenges him in a unique way. Without a key weapon like Tucker Kraft, the Packers' offense must adapt, relying more heavily on their young receiving core and Aaron Jones. Philadelphia's defenders know this and will apply pressure intelligently, seeking to disrupt timing and force the young quarterback into uncomfortable situations. Every snap, every motion, and every adjustment will be under scrutiny, as the Eagles aim to convert defensive preparation into points and momentum swings. Special teams and situational awareness also become critical in games like this. Field position, clock management, and the ability to handle sudden shifts in momentum can define outcomes as much as any touchdown or turnover. Wind, cold, and the inherent unpredictability of late-season outdoor football make these factors magnified. Philadelphia's coaching staff will have to balance aggression with patience, ensuring that players execute their assignments with precision while also taking advantage of opportunities to swing momentum. This is a game where attention to detail, mental toughness, and situational execution can determine the winner just as much as raw talent. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments, and let's talk birds. Whispers around the league have been swirling for weeks, and now the chatter is picking up steam. According to ESPN, one of the most electrifying wide receivers in recent memory, Terry McLaurin, is reportedly on his way from the Washington Commanders to the Philadelphia Eagles. If true, this potential move could shake up the NFC East in ways fans and analysts are only beginning to imagine. McLaurin, known for his blazing speed, crisp route running, and uncanny ability to make defenders miss in the open field, has long been a favorite target in Washington. Over the past seasons, he has consistently put up numbers that place him among the elite receivers in the league, often carrying an offense through sheer talent when his quarterback struggles. For the Eagles, a team already brimming with offensive weapons, adding a player of McLaurin's caliber would be more than just a boost. It could redefine their aerial attack. The rumor has sparked immediate debate across social media and sports talk shows. Some analysts argue that pairing McLaurin with the Eagles' dynamic quarterback could result in one of the most dangerous passing duos in the NFL. Others caution that trading for a star of his magnitude comes with both financial and strategic implications that could ripple through the roster. Yet, the buzz continues, with insiders hinting that Philadelphia's front office has been quietly exploring options to bring McLaurin into their fold for months. Fans of both teams are bracing for a whirlwind of speculation. Washington supporters are lamenting the potential loss of their franchise star, while Eagles fans are already imagining McLaurin catching deep bombs in the iconic green and white. What is clear, however, is that if this deal comes to fruition, the ripple effects will be felt across the league, and the NFC East could suddenly feel very different next season. While nothing is official yet, the mere mention of Terry McLaurin in Philadelphia sparks excitement, questions, and a flurry of what-ifs. Will the Eagles finally have the missing piece to push their offense over the top? Or is this just another tantalizing rumor destined to fade into the off-season chatter? Either way, the NFL world is watching closely, and the potential arrival of McLaurin in Philadelphia is a story that won't be easy to ignore. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.